like to bring up the team from the National Archives.
Thank you for this opportunity to introduce you to the work of the National Classification Center. As part of the National Archives and Records Administration, the Center is made up of National Archives staff, as well as many expert document reviewers from the various government agencies and armed services who have classification and declassification authority over their information. We all share the National Archives mission to provide all people with the opportunity to learn more about the U.S. government through our permanent historical records. The National Declassification Center's mission, of course, has an additional caveat. We must always take into account potential impact on our national security, at the same time remaining committed to a free flow of information to all audiences. The Center was established by a December 2009 executive order and a presidential memorandum, primarily in reaction to the inefficiency in the government's declassification processes. The executive order directed the Center to streamline declassification processes, facilitate quality assurance measures, and implement standardized equity identification training for all reviewers across the federal government. The presidential memorandum said to do all that and to release or properly exempt by the end of 2013 the 400 million pages of federal records 25 years old and older, previously reviewed in some manner and accessioned at the National Archives. 400 million pages is a daunting goal. It all has to be done. How could we best tackle it? Using an ongoing type of inventory, we determined what review process had been completed on those 400 million pages. Using an ongoing quality assurance measure, we assess how well those pages were reviewed. And then we decide the true sensitivity level within those pages, including learning how many agencies have to be consulted about the information within a given document or a given collection of documents. It is not the National Declassification Center's role to determine the value historically of any of these records, as that is a very subjective judgment and differs from audience to audience and scholar to scholar. But at the same time, we are involved in this factory type of approach in order to treat all records as equally as we can. We also look for special collections within this backlog that are of higher interest to academicians, researchers, or public interest groups. Sometimes we respond to a request made to our blog page, or, as in the case of the Katyn collection, a letter from Congresspersons Kaptur and Lipinski to President Obama. In prioritizing the records associated with the Katyn Forest Massacre, the National Archives was able to support a more thorough and more responsive declassification review, as well as more detailed researcher aid. Unfortunately, resources being what they are, we cannot apply this expanded work to all records or record series. But when we can, it is our pleasure to reach an audience such as yourselves, who we know both appreciates our efforts and values the historical information that we're providing. For the next few minutes, I'm going to turn this over to members of the National Declassification Center. Dr. Amanda Weimer will discuss the process they follow to discover these records, and Mr. Joshua Mason will share some of the content contained therein.